What's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing a versus matchup, sort of, kind of doing some predictions as well at the same time. This one's going to be talking about The Walking Dead Season 3, the Governor's Group versus Rick's Group. Now, I think this battle, so to speak, is actually going to take place during 2 seasons. It'll take place in this season, Season 3, and probably will not finish until the end of Season 4. Maybe drag into Season 5 a little bit, but I doubt it will go much into Season 5. But it's definitely probably not going to end at the end of Season 3. I don't think so. Especially the way they're blowing through episodes now, and there's still a lot of other things to get to with the Governor's Group, as well as Rick's Group. Probably the biggest one being the fact that Rick really does not even have a chance at this stage against the Governor with the amount of people he has. I mean, if you think about the fact that in the last episode they lost both T-Dog and Lori, not that Lori was much of a fighter anyway, but they lost T-Dog, and when you've only got a few guys, and Herschel's been bitten on the leg, when you've only got a few guys, it makes a big difference. Not to say women can't defend themselves too, but also Andrea and Michonne have been lost. Andrea may be assimilated, maybe we'll leave next episode, we'll see what happens with that. But Rick does not have the manpower, for lack of a better word, to fight the Governor right now. Unless he can at least get Andrea Michonne back and at least get a few more members. Let's count who he's got, who would be able to go to war. Obviously, Daryl's ready at any point. That's 1. Rick 2. Glenn 3. Maggie 4. I guess she could go. You know, why not? Even though Glenn might not like it. You have Oscar, it's 5. Axel, 6. Herschel, not with that leg. I don't want to count him. You know, with the leg, and he's older and stuff. In a zombie apocalypse, he's not. It doesn't make sense. He's more like the others, who's just a standby. Same with the rest. I mean, so really, when you look at it, Rick right now has only 6 people that could fight. I mean, that's nothing compared to the Governor's Group that has almost 50. Not all of them fighters, but probably a good portion of them could fight, maybe 20 or 30. Now, when Rick gets Michonne and Andrea, if he gets them both back, that's only bringing you up to 8. So that is not even nearly enough to contest the Governor with what the Governor has right now. I mean, if you think about the Governor's Group, he's got Merle, he's got himself, obviously. He's got the guys that watch the wall. He's got the men of every family, some women that are tougher, even though a lot of them seem to be sort of, you know, kind of housebroken and just not able to do so well on their own in a zombie apocalypse. So I will say that Rick's group is definitely a lot harder than the Governor's group. You know, they're a lot more, like, just in terms of prowess, you know, in this kind of world, with their weapons and in self-defense and also on the attack. Rick's group at this point is way more badass than the Governor's group. I mean, Merle's really badass too, and the Governor himself is also. But compared to, you know, what Rick's group has been through, at least from what we've seen, I mean, and Michonne as well, if Rick can get her on his side, you know, he's definitely got a tougher group man for man. But the problem is he's so outmanned. He's more than 2 to 3 times outmanned unless he can somehow, you know, get those numbers down. Some people have rumored that, or, you know, made predictions, and there have been rumors that possibly Tyreese will arrive at some point during this season and will meet up with Rick's group. And I think that makes sense because then at least he would have over 10 people, probably somewhere around 10, 12, 13, maybe if Tyreese has got a couple people with him, a group of maybe 4 or 5. They can join up with Rick's group and probably help them do a lot better when it eventually comes down to the Governor versus Rick. Also, potential could be that Merle or Daryl could change sides. I don't see Daryl changing sides just for his brother Merle regardless at this point. He's been through too much with this group. I pretty much would bank on him meeting his brother but not willing to change sides. I could see Merle, though, leaving and changing sides from the Governor, even though he does seem loyal to him. You know, I could see him doing that as well, even though the Governor did save his life and all. Merle's that kind of guy that he might do that just to be with his brother. And if it came down to it, would probably not fight against his brother. and would probably change sides if he had to. So that would be cool too, because he seems to be one of the toughest guys the governor has. So, I mean, in terms of what we've seen so far and all that, I'm probably thinking that this season we're probably going to have a few more things happen before the groups meet and are aware and know about each other. Rick's going to probably have to assimilate some more people. They're probably going to have to clean out the rest of the prison. There's probably going to be some maybe another group that will meet up with one or the other in between to get us through. Because remember, this season's got 16 episodes and we're only through 5, so we still have 11 left to go through before it's over. You know, I don't see them meeting at least for a little while. If they met right now, it would be a little weird because then it seemed like they probably resolve it this season. So maybe they'll draw it out a little bit, have some more events and things happen in the middle, in the meantime, before it becomes an all-out war between the two. And then I would expect season 4 to be a pretty much all-out war. And, you know, I'd probably lose a lot of characters on both sides. But up until then, I mean, in terms of who's going to win, it's going to be a lot different than the comic books. People are going to say it's going to be just like the comic books. I don't think it will be at all. Obviously, Laurie's already gone, and that was the big thing at the end of the battle in the comic book series, is that when Rick and the governor go at it, Laurie dies, and that's the whole holy shit moment. So since that's already happened in the TV series, something else is going to have to happen. Either it could be the baby, which I don't think Rick is really going to like the baby anyway, because I think timing-wise, he knows it's Shane's in terms of time. I'm sure he's thought about that while they were on the road during the time skip. I'm sure he realizes that timing-wise, it's got to be Shane's baby. So I wouldn't be surprised if he just doesn't even care about the baby almost at all. Plus, it killed his wife. So he maybe he won't even not care. Maybe he'll hate it. That's a possibility too. That he would just hate the goddamn baby and want to maybe not kill it, but would just give it to Maggie or Beth or somebody else to take care of and just be done with it. So there's going to have to be some big deaths probably coming up at the end of season 3, season 4. I'd expect probably Herschel to die in the mix. I think Maggie and Glenn will be okay. Daryl, I think, is okay no matter what. Merle, probably not okay. He's probably going to die at some point in the next season or 2. I'd say so. Michonne's probably all right. Andrea, maybe she could die soon. We'll see what happens with that. It's a possibility. And Beth is cannon fodder. Carol, if she comes back, is probably cannon fodder. Also, Axel and Oscar as well are cannon fodder. So that's pretty much what I think. In terms of who's going to win, I think the governor will probably win, just like in the comic books, but in the process will die as well. And I think it would make sense in the TV series for Michonne to probably be the one to do it. Although she has seemed already, like so far this season, to hate him irrationally. Like, it doesn't really make sense why she seems to hate him as much as she does. It kind of makes her, from the viewer's perspective, look a little messed up, you know, because of the way she's acting and everything, even though she doesn't trust him. But he hasn't really given her enough reason, I think, at this point to really hate him. And also interesting about the TV series versus the comic books is that the governor actually doesn't seem like that bad of a guy. And it actually seems like Rick's group, if you look at it from an outsider meeting both, Rick's group might be more cruel, depending. I mean, at this point, from what we've seen happen now with Andrew, Rick could be more of a cruel type a person to people he doesn't know than the governor is. Although the governor doesn't get much worse than what he does to some of them. It's weird how the governor decides to allow certain people in and others not. You know, like he allows Michonne and Andrea in and is really nice to them and everything. And then when it comes to those military guys, he goes after them versus not even letting them in. He actually goes to kill them and take their stuff like a scavenger. So that's pretty much all I got to say about the upcoming ensuing battle between the two. I'm very excited for it. Probably is the highlight in all The Walking Dead. I think it is. Up until this point in the comic book series with Negan, who's a great character and a great bad guy, I'd say the governor and that whole story arc is the highlight of the series up until Negan comes in. But I'd still, if I had to compare both, I'd probably still go with the governor's story arc as being the craziest story arc I have read in any comic book series ever, and I'm sure the TV series will, do it justice for sure. And we'll see a lot of different things happen, because they seem to be very keen on making both very different, so that we, even as we read the comic book series, we don't know exactly what's going to happen, who's going to die when. I mean, and I expect some of the characters that have lived even up to this point in the comic book series to die. You know, aside from Sophia, even though she's still alive in the comic books, but that type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what your thoughts are on the Governor's group versus Rick's group. Who do you think is going to die in the mix? Who do you think is going to win? And do you think they're going to be able to do it all in Season 3, or do you think they'll probably spread into 2 seasons? I think it makes sense to spread into 2 seasons. 1 season wouldn't really be enough for it. So that's it for this video, guys. See you for the next one. This is Trev. Saying peace.